Hereby to attend and adjourn the annual meeting of Hemsworth Town Council to be held in the main hall, Community Centre, Bullenshaw Road, Hemsworth, upon the rise of the annual town meeting held on Wednesday 27th of May. The officers here and Wilson Town Clerk. Again, this meeting it should be on Zoom, however we do have issues regarding the access to it at the moment. And again, recording of meetings under no openness of local government bodies. Members of the public may now film, photograph and take audio recordings of the proceedings of the public participation session, and this is not part of the formal agenda of the meeting. Recording activity should be respectful to the conduct of the meeting and behave that disrupts the council. Any apologies for absence?
I haven't got any, Chairman, no.
Again, welcome to everybody to come. Again, same as last time, there's a fire alarm, there's no drills.
Can we have it down to the councillor, Dodson and
So declaration of interest. Members are asked to receive declaration of interest under consideration of this agenda in accordance with the Local Government Act 2000 Part 3 and the relevant authorities disclosable community interest regulation 2012. Members are reminded that should you declare a community interest at the meeting, it is your responsibility to inform the monitoring officer. Item 4, public question time. Members of the public are advised that they are welcome to ask questions about items on the agenda or matters about the parish itself. Not always possible to give a verbal response at the meeting, and questions may receive a written reply. No resolution made on this item. Questions relate to matters of parish council policy or practice and do not relate to individual affairs of whether the questioner or any other named person.
I want to know if we could move exclusion out for public.
No.
Pause.
Can we have a reason why it can't be moved out
Okay,
exclusion?
Let's go to.
Have we got a date for the allocation of vacant apartments? Yeah.
To my knowledge, I'm going out with Scott and Dylan one weekend in the next few weeks to do all the inspections. The paperwork is coming up to date, or some of it is up to date. We have a list of people we're likely to allocate plots to, but that is the process. Is that not correct, Scott? So that we'd actually look at a weekend that we go and inspect everything and everybody will get informed, and from there we can allocate plots.
Okay, it's just that the eviction notices are up on the allotments already.
Yeah, but they have to stay out there for a certain number of days.
Well, it says the 29th of May, I mean,
Well,
that's the eviction date.
absolutely fine, but yeah, I fully understand what you're saying.
Well,
Well, yeah, we will get people out there at some stage. We're going out, I don't know when, in the next few weeks. It's already arranged for us to go out one weekend to go and look at all the plots and and check all the eviction notices and everything.
I'd just like to make the point that all this delay impacts on the ability of the people that come and get the allotments to actually get anything done.
But I think it's been explained to you on numerous occasions. We have to follow the rules of the allotment society, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Oh, because it says on my agreement, clause 4C, you get 40 days to pay, and then you've got a month to get off after that.
That's absolutely correct. And at that end of that month was then when the eviction notices are put up.
Any more questions? I think Jimmy had your hand up.
Yeah, I'd just like to bring your attention to a deed of release of covenant, item number 10 on agenda number 2, which I spoke to you earlier on about, Sean. In 2017, the Tribunal, First Year Tribunal Information Rights Commission sat, and Hemsworth Town Council appealed on releasing the contract regarding sale of land at complex. The sale of land on these contracts included the overage, the covenant, in its entirety. And at that time, it was Malcolm C. Foy that did all the paperwork on this. And the overage were £150 per square foot per dwelling, to be split 50-50, which has been increased now, because that was back in 2012. I believe it would be well over £300,000 to this council. I believe that Saul Construction have asked for a deal that the £50,000 of section 106 that is asked back for in exchange for this covenant to be removed. If this council does make a decision, the decision should be made openly public, because the contracts are public. Any member of this council or any member of the public can ask for a copy of these contracts, and if they do decide to do that deal, which obviously is not in the interest of the township, and it's against financial regulations to lose that type of money, if you can send me a decision notice if you decide to do that deal in exchange for what Saul wants, then I would put you on notice that I would judicially review any decision that you do to lose the township in excess of £200,000, because that's what it means once all these houses are built. And so,
Max, you do
I think you'll find that it will Wakefield's decision to do that, not ours. There is things online about this court case. Yeah, but there's still, it was Wakefield's decision to do that to us.
it's nothing to do with Wakefield
Yeah, it was
Council. The
Wakefield's
sale of this
decision
land
to make
was
the
sold.
deal with Saul after the litigation, what lasted all them years. Saul went to Wakefield and Wakefield agreed to it.
Agreed to what?
There's those in the stuff.
Agreed to what? There's a covenant on here that states he pays £150 per square foot for dwelling when they're sold.
Well, I'm sure I know.
Over 9 acres, there's 220 dwellings on that site to be developed, which means a windfall to this council, because it was sold as 12.2 acres instead of 9 acres that the district value put on. That means a windfall in excess of £200,000 to this council. So if this council, if Saul's asking for the £50,000 106 money back, complain about what he left you with regarding lift and Sandygate, which is a white elephant, as you know. There's no 3 metre runoffs, everything, there were no drainage put in. This council spent thousands putting these things right, so you can ask him to pay to put them right, including floodlights. And like I said, at end of the day, do not remove that covenant, because if you do, if you can give me notice decision of that you're going to remove that covenant to lose in excess of £200,000 for this township, then I will judicially review this council on that decision.
I just want to make a point that when we originally received the debt collection notice from Saul in 2024, that I did indeed, and I have it on email, ask that this goes to the solicitor to actually check if this money is owed.
And the budgeted for it as well, didn't we?
But I don't think we should budget it. It
Can I-
needs to be looked over by legal representatives, and it never was.
It's Malcolm C5 that originally put all these contracts
We
together
need to
and did the
remember the
exchange. That's who we need to be dealing
£150,000
with.
Can we just
this
stop?
cost us.
Can you say that? Can you say that name again, sir?
Malcolm C5 at Doncaster, solicitors, that's who exchanged the contracts, that's who did the deal.
Is it Foy? F-O-Y?
FOY, yeah, Malcolm C5 solicitors, Doncaster.
I think what we need to do with information.
It needs to go to the solicitor.
As you know, it's up to this council to get best considered.
Yes, which was fair.
Chairman, can I just say, we're going to defer the item off this agenda tonight. However, we are restricted as to what we can put in open session of council by the law, the Public Bodies Admissions to Meeting Act 1962. We are not able to put anything to do with contracts, leases, legal stuff in open session.
These contracts, excuse me, these contracts are already in public domain. I've got a copy here.
Yeah.
We've got an order from the tribunal judge stating that Hemsworth Town Council appealed not to release these contracts with the overage and everything in him, and the tribunal judge dismissed the appeal, and we received a copy. And anybody in here is entitled to a copy.
So we will need to discuss that in private session and put the decision of council in an openly written minute. That is what we need to do.
However, regarding this one now, it's going to be, or at least if
Need to
council's
defer
agreed,
it.
we're going to defer it. I've not got a copy.
This is public knowledge. This is all over the internet. It was on Wakefield Express. So if you just Google Hemsworth Town Council versus Saul, it all comes up and all your information is there.
Yeah, so Jimmy, could you have a copy of your, we should have a copy on Town Council, but.
I'll get you a copy.
You got a
Could
copy
I
of it?
propose you meet with him?
Sorry?
Could I propose that you actually
No.
sit down with him,
We
meet
can,
with
it's
him?
going to give us the thing and we're going to send it off to a solicitor, but get in
Yeah.
touch with Malcolm C. Boyd. Any more public questions? No, okay, thank you very much. Item 5, minutes. Members are asked to confirm the following minutes. Finance Committee, 2nd of April 2026.
They've not been sent out.
Unfortunately, they are not available. I'm not sure who took them all.
I took minutes, it was sent in. I did send it to so many councillors, I sent it to Chair, I sent it to Clerk, and I sent it to the other. But says these are my minutes from meeting.
They weren't sent in an actual file though, it was just an
An
email.
email?
Yeah.
Okay,
Right, okay.
we'll find it out.
Yeah.
Full council meeting, 2nd of April 2026.
Can I just, this is no, so it don't say on here that Vicky took minutes, which you did, Vicky, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I sent them in.
Yeah. On 1338 inflatables, it wasn't, it was it's been worded wrong there. We did set 3,000 at 33%, but it could only do it over Easter holidays and it had to come back to full council to evaluate because they were using donut van, this van and that other van.
I believe, yeah, so I believe that we sort of said he can do that, but he can't have any food items. And if he does put anything on, he needs to get in touch with the staff.
Yeah, for extra charges, but that's not in these minutes,
Okay,
so that needs changing.
adjust that.
And legal update, I did not declare an interest, I was told I had to leave.
I showed you some evidence, so if you want to say you wasn't aware you had an interest, then that's fine.
No, you told me,
Can you
I
repeat
put-
what you just said, please?
so at this meeting, it was a legal update, I was told the chair had been in touch with YLCA, Gal, and they'd said I had to leave, but yet another councillor could stay in who had a pecuniary interest. And did stay in. I did email you that, Anne.
You did, you're absolutely right. I just wanted to double check that you said the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, again, on advice, we was told that that council did not have a non-pecuniary interest on that particular matter. So yeah, so
The YMCA gave the guideline.
what else, yeah. So propose to accept those minutes with the amendments.
Extraordinary meeting on the 7th
So
of
like, it's on the
May.
meetings and
We're
then
doing
we
it one at a time.
do one at a time and then we can.
One at a
Right,
stop
sorry,
it.
yeah.
So full council meeting, I've got, I'll second to move those as per the adjustments. Have I got a second for that
With the adjustments.
with the adjustments?
I'll second with adjustments.
Okay, all four?
Well done.
Okay, extraordinary full meeting Thursday, May 7th.
Yeah, I've done minutes.
They were sent out.
I haven't received them.
I haven't received any me in Glasgow. Didn't even receive any finance detail.
Sorry, haven't we got, sorry?
I haven't received anything because I've gone last week, you see. I've had no financial details or nothing.
Finance has
I
come
can't-
today, Kev.
Yeah, they come at 4 o'clock. I don't have time to read them.
Okay, so you'll defer it to the full council to make sure they're not there. Yeah, I agree. So, item 6, planning. Members are asked to consider the following planning applications. 26/00798/full 27 Springvale Rise Hemsworth Rear Sun Lounge. No council going in,
Why are we doing this when it's Wakefield Council?
because this is just if we going back previously, we used to get these all the time, it's just stopped
Yeah, we did used to
last
get them.
couple of years, last few years.
So people who were putting these in,
These are just people's,
I thought it'd just be building plots and that would affect Hemsworth Town Council. If
These-
somebody wants an extension, that is not the
so
Hemsworth Town
Springvale Rise,
Council.
Grove Lane, Station Road, Tesco Market Street, they're all Hemsworth, Fitzwilliam and Kinsley. If council's happy as it is there, we can just continue if you don't want to put any objections.
No objection.
No objections?
Um,
Okay, so is that for that?
I'd just like to say, for the future, I want to go to the Policy and Planning Committee now.
Believe so,
Yeah.
yeah.
It will go to planning, but only got full council at the moment.
Yeah, I know.
Then members asked to note the following plan applications. Western Terriers, Cemetery Road, for Sports Pavilion, Ringwood Way, Hemsworth, single story extension, and MDC Sports Stadium Way for replacement of existing stand and dugout for action. If council have no objections, they don't want us to object to.
I'd just like to say regarding Hemsworth Terriers and getting the pavilion up there, that's why we passed that back to Wakefield Council, and I'm pleased that they're progressing with that and getting the pavilion up
We
there on
didn't pass it
Cemetery
back to
Road.
Wakefield Council, Terriers own that one.
So we passed it back to the Terriers, not to town, not to
No,
the
we
Wicked.
We passed it back to Wakefield so that the Hemsworth Terriers could
Get a lease
possess
on
it,
it.
so that they could get a lease on it.
Okay.
It was passed back to Wakefield.
Okay. So finance, again, this is the local clerk update of the council. We did that on the first meeting. Item 2, section 2 on item 7, updating the council accounts. Members are asked to know that the amount of work to update the account is a considerable amount of work for a local RFO. It is therefore suggested that the cheaper option is for Realtors, that's the company who does accounts, to input the accounts for the council, and then the local RFO can complete the end of the year VAT etc. for the council. Members are asked to know that the local RFO to input these accounts, the work is estimated it would cost around £2,500 plus on cost. With Realtors it would cost £616 a day plus VAT. Have they indicated how many days the
2 or 3.
2 or 3,
So it'd be cheaper.
members asked therefore to confirm their way forward as any councillors.
Yep. Normally, presumably the clerk has the responsibility to enter
As-
all these figures.
As we noted previously, it's not been done since
No, it hasn't been done since July.
July.
July last year,
Yeah.
hasn't been done.
Yeah.
Right.
Will we be paying this and the RFO?
Sorry.
No, the RFO won't be doing anything. RFO, well, she's not the RFO, we are joint local clerk.
Yeah.
So we've both got different responsibilities. She won't be doing anything on the inputting. She'll come back involved when
When
it's
it's
all
all
in.
sorted.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're not paying.
Sorry,
You're not paying for that. I'm paying for that at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
No. So I will. Sorry, Vicky.
I think it makes sense to get realtors to input everything. And I got invoices for November last year.
So-
You know, so they all need input and everything.
We've
So
got to do a legal.
we've got a better idea of where we stand.
Did we not get anything back from external auditor from me? I've not come
The
back
thing
yet.
is, I haven't been able to send anything to internal auditors, so I haven't got anything to send.
Yeah.
That's the difficulty I've got.
Alright.
So yeah.
Will Realtors be giving us an estimate as to how many days it will take?
We
for
just
to
said
enter?
I don't
two,
think
two,
2 to 3.
two, maybe 3.
2 to
But I
3.
think we're going to go right back to April to make sure that April is correct.
So Vicky, did you say you're proposing that?
I'll propose that we go with realtors.
Have we got a
to
second
do it.
there?
I'll second it.
All for? We need to move on.
Can I just point out?
How much shall I get a vote still first?
Yeah, all right,
All
sorry.
against? Any abstentions?
Can I just point out, if Realtors' costs cost more than the 2,500,
It's not worth it.
no, so it will go back to the RFO to put them in.
So they're estimating 3 days maximum, so they'll be done on the 2,000.
But even 4 days would be cheaper because
Cheaper,
you've
yeah.
got on costs for
Okay.
the RFO.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Item 8, goats on the allotment. Members are asked to consider the attached report, which I remind that allotment tenancy agreement for our site does not allow for goats on the allotment sites. The only animals allowed are chickens, rabbits and ducks. Members are reminded that legal advice from the National Allotment Association has stated the Allotment Act 1950 only provides that hens and rabbits must be permitted on allotments. There is nothing in the Allotments Act regarding other animals. The only other relevant part of the Act will be that part of the definition of allotment requires the land to be wholly or mainly used for growing of fruit and vegetables. If a significant part of the plot was used for something like a pigsty or for grazing, then it would be against this definition. Beyond this point, there are also concerns related to the owners requiring specific licences for animals, such as pigs, that would also make them inappropriate and managed on the allotment site. Overall, we tend to strongly advise against allowing any other livestock beyond hens and rabbits, with the exception for bees on some sites.
Okay, one of our caretakers has been up, and who works with the allotments as well, has been up and measured the site in question. There is not enough room for goats anyhow, because they would need shelter and a pen, and there is absolutely not enough room on the sites at all for that. I'm sorry, the meeting is closed to the public. You have to spend some rules if you want to speak.
Okay. Councillors allowed us to spend some minutes, the gentleman to have a quick word.
This young man's been waiting to speak about
So,
this.
well, just,
so-
that's why we're suspending something else, so they can.
But there's no
You'd like to speak? Yeah.
You can speak. Yeah.
Dylan came and measured the land.
Yeah.
And there's enough land, there's more than enough land. Scott, you are up as well, aren't you? I invite you onto the thing, you can see how far the allotment goes back.
I've seen it, yeah.
Yeah, there's enough land, so let's get jet measurements and get jet round.
Right.
The land at side of me, where my allotments finish, the back half of the allotments it's all waste. It's been like that for 15 years, to my knowledge. And also the allotments next door, a bit further down, well, next door to that one, but a small part, and then 2 allotments this side, it's all wasteland, what hasn't been used. Now, Carl next door said I could have that bit of land, he'll write in letter, and I'll pay half of his, if it's allowed to be done. If it's allowed to be
It's not
done.
subletting because it's derelict land.
It's derelict land, nobody's using any of that land.
I think that you've heard what was said, and actually the recommendation is that from the National Allotment Association that goats are not allowed on allotments.
But why not, these goats on allotments?
There's all goats and allotments as well, so we can. Pete?
Right, I picked this up last time, and I said 3 little goats, and it's on and on about it. Now it says here, there is nothing in the allotment act regarding other animals.
Correct.
In other words, it's saying you can't have goats on, and you can't have other animals, including horses, you're opening the floodgates. And I propose...
Hang on, Maxine wants to ask the question, then you can propose. Maxine?
Are these goats already on?
No, they're just 2 little pygmy goats.
So,
All monkeys.
so have you got all the relevant paperwork
I've got
and
everything,
the
yeah, I've
chips
obviously-
and everything?
Yeah, I've got everything.
I don't
One
agree.
thing
I
I've
do not
got to
agree.
say, Maxine.
I've got to tell you, I do not agree with animals on allotments.
It's only what allotment thingy recommends that there's no goats on. It's up to the council if goats goes on or horses goes on. It's a recommendation from allotment
There should be horses on there
Yeah.
because it's not big enough. I've always gone against the horses being on there, but the rules got changed for some reason. Wakefield Council don't allow it, so they'll not allow it on Wannerville anyway, because that belongs to Wakefield Council.
To make a decision, we're going to close the meeting
Yeah.
again.
So I'm going to have to close the meeting again, so it's back to a council meeting. Pete?
Right, it says here, overall we tend to strongly advise against allowing any other livestock beyond hens and rabbits.
Yeah.
What about horses?
That's not allotment land, but we may need looking at.
No, that's right.
This motion is about goats, so
Right,
yes. So we need to discuss this motion
Well,
about goats.
But we've already got goats on allotments.
Well, this is about this goats, then we need to come back to that. So this is about this allotment.
But when you did the last voting, didn't you say? What did you
It was subject to it being
Yeah.
inspected and all that sort of stuff.
So to
I
say
think,
there
I
enough
think we
land.
need to get some new ones expecting
Well, so
allotment association or somebody.
the allotment association says no.
It tells you there what allotment association
Are you
said. It's
saying
recommended
that the
not
measurements
to.
were wrong that were brought
Yeah.
back?
Yeah, if they're going up.
You need to just talk to council, council speak to public.
Switching
Would you
things
mind
round.
council going up with some staff to measure it?
They've been up, yeah.
Can we not do that?
As a council.
Can I have a vote on this?
Yeah, so you want to put your proposal
I
in?
propose that we'll let the lads have 3 little goats
Two.
Building
Two.
up
Two.
Have you got a seconder?
Yeah, I'll second that.
I will.
Okay. All four.
I don't think you've got enough information. I don't think you've got enough information for this vote.
Those against?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and abstentions.
Any abstentions?
Right, I need to say something though, I'm afraid, because whilst you've allowed it, who's going to pay if the goats bite anybody? Who's going to pay if the goats get out? Who's going to pay if the goats get out and eat other
Stated, we've got enough
people?
information for this.
We've
Other
already got,
people's.
we've already got that problem anyway, there's already goats on there anyway, we set the precedent.
Yeah, you have. You said precedent last time you voted for it.
Same with
Said it
horses.
should have been stopped.
I'm sure the chap will make it secure.
But we've still got to look at it in terms of our
Now
insurance.
come on, Sean, what vote?
It passed.
Pass. Thank you.
So can we ask them to get their own insurance out to cover themselves and cover the council?
I think they need to.
Yes. Could we stipulate that they have their own insurance?
We
So,
need to change
there's
their
no
law.
backpedaling now,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's it.
it's do it.
Yeah.
Right, lad.
So if this
That's
gentleman's
what.
got to get his own insurance, surely everybody who's got goats
And
Animal.
horses.
must get.
Horses they do anyway.
Horses
don't they?
do, yeah.
But horses have got all.
So item 2, fires on the allotment. To members are asked to consider and adopt the attached policy with regards to lighting on fire allotments. This is help with the fires being lit all year round, and in some cases being lit in the morning and left to smoulder all day.
So is this just open fire, not a burning bin then?
We had a report, Ken.
Sorry?
We've had a report,
It
so
says they can have called them any time, and other times it says you can only have them after a certain hour. So there is contradictions on this policy, which have been pointed out to me, and I agree, that somewhere it says you can hold them any time, and one time it says you can only hold them after a certain time. Do you want to point it out, Karen?
I haven't got minutes, I haven't brought them in, so for allotment owners,
There we go.
it says you can have a, you can hold
Oh, sorry, Carol.
you can have a fire at any time when necessary, but on the next line it says you can't have a fire.
Yeah.
You've got we're going to stop you burning from April to October.
I can remember something like that.
Yeah, that came in last year, but then
So,
they want you to stockpile your rubbish in a corner of your allotments. My argument with that is that if you're stockpiling rubbish, you're going to end up with rats infestation, and it's a fire hazard to store rubbish on allotments. So this, for the fires, needs to be plain and simple to tell you when and when you can't have a fire. Because the laws state you can have a fire at any time, an hour after dark.
So
No,
The clerk
you
just
can
suggested
try
that-
any time through the day.
Make it more
But
easier.
the clerk says that this has been
Might be deemed
looked at and rejigged.
Yeah.
Make it
antisocial
simplified.
behaviour.
Yeah, because people say you can't
that's
bring
another.
rubbish onto the allotments to burn with.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be deferred and brought back when it's been simplified.
Is that it?
No. Quickly, one item, exclusion person public, recommend that under Public Bodies Act 1960 that in view of the confidential nature of business, it's advisable that public and person be excluded and instructed to withdraw due to the nature of the business be transacted considered to be. That's been deferred. No, 'cause I've got